honestly am still in the camp that we're still headed even lower, probably 12, 13,000 at minimum on Bitcoin. And just to be clear, that's kind of my best case scenario is 12 to 13,000. My worst case would be like 3,500 or so. So hopefully it's the best case. But again, as a trader, we always have to prepare for the best and the worst case. You just can't kind of stick your head in the sand and say, oh, I'm only going to believe in the best case. As a trader, you have to mitigate risk. So you have to prepare for the potential for the worst case. So number one, it's been dead the last few days, right? I mean, it's interesting to look at the stock market, and for once we're seeing more volatility in the stock market. The stock market, the NASDAQ, the S&P, bigger bounces than crypto, at least in terms of Bitcoin, percentage-wise even. So that's pretty wild to see. But I do think it's the calm before the storm for crypto. I do think you're going to get more volatility. I think there's a couple reasons why it's been so quiet the last few days. So number one, tomorrow we have Jerome Powell speaking from Jackson Hole. So Jackson Hole, for people that don't understand that, it's basically the place that all the Fed presidents convene. They go to Jackson Hole, I think it's Wyoming, and they all sit down and they powwow about interest rates, about the economy. And then basically Friday, I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern time, Jerome Powell's going to make a speech. And the market's going to be looking for that, and Bitcoin's going to be looking for that, or at least investors in Bitcoin. Is he hawkish? Is he dovish? Is he kind of hawkish? Is he a little bit more dovish? And whatever he says, you're going to see a reaction in the dollar, and then likely crypto will go in the opposite direction. So tomorrow is kind of like the party that everyone's been waiting for a few days here, which is why crypto's been so quiet. I think overall, also, the other thing is that there's a lot of investors that got burned in crypto because of Celsius and because of a couple other things. And so I think a lot of money has gone towards the stock market right now and has stayed away from crypto. In addition, we're waiting for like this regulation. Like, what the heck are we going to do? We know Gary Gensler says Bitcoin's a commodity, but what the heck is everything else going to be? What type of regulations are they going to bring in? And that's keeping a lot of money on the sidelines at this point as well. So there's a lot of things that are kind of keeping Bitcoin and crypto traders on the sidelines. And I think it's going to start to become clearer in the next week or two. And I think you'll get some more volatility. So I would favor a short-term move up maybe on Bitcoin in the next, day or a few days. And then I think the resumption of the downtrend continues. So if we go to the charts here, let's take a look at these fun charts. Basically what you have is you have a macro pattern, and I'll do a little bit of teaching for everyone out there. So a macro pattern is basically the bigger pattern, and then you have a micro pattern, which is the pattern inside of the bigger pattern. And what you can see here is basically we have, let me get my trend lines up here. You basically have the bigger pattern. This is your bigger pattern down here, and then sideways, right? This is in spirit of what we would refer to as a bearish pattern, in spirit of bear flag. And we've now broken down again, and now you're forming a new bear flag in spirit of bear flag pattern, right? So you got a bear, a macro bear with a micro bear. So you have two bears, which is never a good thing, right? So that's a little bit scary. But what I said before is that short term, I'm a little bit bullish, and this is getting a little bit more wacky. But look at this green candle here, and then look at this mini micro. And this is getting weird, right, Frankie? So you have a macro pattern, you have a micro pattern, and then inside of the micro pattern, you have this mini micro, which is a little bit of bull, right? So you have the up move and then the sideways consolidation. So what this tells me is that the market's anticipating maybe a quick move up, but then the bigger micro pattern and the macro pattern will likely take it back down. So I guess to summarize this, you'd look for a very short term, maybe a next couple days bounce in crypto, maybe if we're lucky back to this trend line that was broken. So this would be kind of a retrace to the breakdown line right here. And then I think we roll over and the resumption of the bearish pattern takes us down to here, which is the 2017 level. But for me, it would be much, much lower. Like, honestly, 10,000 would be very good in terms of washing out a lot of the weaker hands. So for instance, I think there's a lot of investors, and if you look at Bitcoin right now, we just went from 69,000 to 17.5, and I still didn't get the sense, and you might agree with this, I don't know, but I didn't get the sense that people were like giving up on Bitcoin, right? And in a bear market, that's the kicker, right? If you go back to 2009 when the stock market bottomed at like 6,600 on the S&P or whatever it was, it was like people just didn't even open up their portfolios anymore. They were like, I'm not even going near stocks anymore. But you don't have that in crypto yet, which to me says you got to go lower in this bear market if it's a true bear market.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.